Did you know there's a calculus in virtual reality game?
Calculus? Oh,
Calculus.
no. Well, what does
It's
it is it just like a calculator or do you actually write
no, it's I believe it's this app includes over 50 lessons and playgrounds. It's
playgrounds?
not covering 3D coordinates, graphs in 3D, curves and surfaces, vector value functions of one variable. So this could be a sex game.
Let's Talk Oculus is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/playtestvr. What's up, Oculus nerds? I'm Dan from Playtest VR. Welcome back to episode 39 of Let's Talk Oculus. As always, I'm with, what do I call him? Like the psychic, the master, the wizard, because he has all these predictions to predict the future. It's Samson. How's it going?
No. It goes well. I finally got the Sweetopia club this
Oh,
afternoon.
nice. And were you happy with it or were you slightly disappointed?
I think it looks pretty cool. Reminds me of Dr. Seuss.
No.
I'll use it next time I go to play,
Okay.
and I'll go from there.
Fair enough. I like what it looks like. It puts me off.
Yeah.
It puts me off. Um, anyway, it is prediction time, everyone. Yes, the Meta Quest Gaming Showcase is only 1 week away, so it's a good time for the good old predictions episode. Me and Samson are going to combine with 6 predictions, or 8 predictions total, shall I say. We also have some listener ones sprinkled in there as well. And if you have any more predictions before the show, put it in the YouTube comments if you're on the video version. We'll also go through the VR news. There's only 4 news stories, but we do have another Walkabout mini golf course announcement to talk
Woo,
about.
woo, 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 woo.
They keep pumping him out, but we'll talk about that.
Well, they're not due out till the summer and the fall, but
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. There's spoilers for the news. All that and more. But before we get into some housekeeping, as always, Let's Talk Oculus is normally available every Wednesday. Audio listeners can see the video version on Let's Talk Oculus YouTube channel. And for you video watchers, the episode is on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. On that, it seems like a lot of people prefer the audio than video, but we do have a few.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm not that good looking.
It's also a podcast and it's also an hour plus long. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, if you want to be part of the show, send in your questions at letstalkoculus@gmail.com or join our Discord, which has, I think, over 60 or 70 people in now, which is crazy. And it's popping off. People are starting to make,
Come on down.
We got a big screen movies chat channel now. I think.
Yeah, we're getting requests for channels. It's great. You're on top of it, creating these channels while I'm at work. It's a tipsy topsy world out there.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have our first big screen movie night soon. I don't know what movie it's gonna be. A lot of people saying Labyrinth in there, I saw, and Tron. VR kind of related ish.
Yeah. There was also talk of watching this episode,
Was there?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be in the audience taking some questions after the episode. If you really want to support us,
We could be watching ourselves right now.
We could be.
Yeah. Hi, future me.
If you want to support us, throw us $1 at patreon.com/playtestvr for any early access episodes. All the links will be in the description below. Before we begin, Samson, we technically started this podcast doing the predictions for the gaming showcase. We obviously didn't start the podcast properly until maybe a month or 2 after, but we've pretty much come full circle. How are you feeling?
You know what it was? It was their talk of watching our live episode of the game show in big screen, not this episode. That's what it was. Anyway,
I see.
now that I got that cleared up.
Fair enough. Yeah. Would you have ever predicted that we would be here 1 year later? Predicting EM.
Yes.
Confidence. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we took what? There's 52 weeks in the year. Took 13 weeks off.
Technically, this is episode 39. I did do an extra episode talking about harassment and such, so technically 40. So we had 12 weeks off, which I think that's good work-life balance, to be honest.
Yeah, it's solid.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
We're
But
crushing
yeah,
it. Nailed that. Do you think we'll be here in another year?
yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. I love your hoodie, by the way. The 19th hole.
No,
Big
thank
fan.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out there.
Shout out to the
Bridgeport,
19th
Connecticut.
hole. You were there last week, right? Yeah, I remember you getting blacked out.
Jeez, just doxing me.
Yeah, I think we'll be here next year. I want to say thank you to everyone who supported us from day one. Um, and thanks to some of the people out there in terms of in the VR space, like PJ from VR Verdict, who's always been big fans and supporters as well. And thanks to the initial patrons. I think Kimberly was initial patron. We have a bunch. I didn't write
Yeah,
these
big
down, so I
thank
don't
you.
want to.
Big thank you to all of them.
Yeah,
Everybody out there.
100%.
Pretty crazy that you all enjoy listening to us.
I hope finally now, after a year, I can finally get some merch out. You are going to PAX soon.
Yes.
So I've been forced to start making merch for you.
Yes.
So we'll have a t-shirt and we'll have a hoodie out real soon. I also have a bunch of stickers as well, which I'll send out real soon. Okay, let's get into the show. The Metagaming
Let's
Showcase
do it.
predictions. So how this is gonna work is that I think Samson's gonna go first. Third prediction, we'll talk about it. Then I'll go, and then I also have some other people's predictions, so we'll kind of trickle them in as well, and we'll go that way. So Samson, kick us off. Number one, what is your first prediction of the Meta Gaming Showcase?
All right, I'm gonna lead off with my subcategory prediction.
The complex one.
So yes. My prediction is that there will be a few current game updates. So what I mean, there'll be an after the fall update that will, and these will probably release on the day of. I'll go so far as to say this. It probably won't happen, but sure, it will happen. After the fall content coming, Supernatural content coming, Beat Saber song pack coming, Walkabout Lost Cities coming. You heard it here first.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Do you want to elaborate on any of those? Like, what do you think that for example, Beat Saber would be? What do you think that the Walkabout would be? Or are you just gonna throw out a few games and just say, yeah, there'll be stuff?
Do you want me to be real specific?
I want you to give me at least one of those games. Give me at least
the Lost Cities. I think on some water, like
Atlantis.
What's that? Yes, thank you.
But that's been something that's been rumored for ages, and plus, I think on their Lost Cities poster there is the water in there, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a lost city. You got to do it. It's one of the biggest lost cities out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Beat Saber. The Beat Saber one's such.
Beat Saber's one's a tough one. It could be anything, can't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They have Lady Gaga. They have Fall Out Boy. They have Skrillex. They could go anywhere.
I'd love a Dead Mouse one, although I don't know if that will fit.
I'm pretty out of the Grammys.
Who's in the Grammys nowadays?
Let me see who won a Grammy, and I'll go with.
Wait, why is Cardi B not in there? That's the question. I think Cardi B could be a sick Beat Saber one.
Okay.
Or the Migos, or something like
that. Doja Cat, right?
Doja Cat. I like Doja Cat. I'm a big fan of Doja Cat.
Doja Cat. I think Doja Cat has a song on one of the other packs, though.
No, I would have downloaded it otherwise.
No,
okay. I'm a big Doja Cat fan. Not gonna lie.
There you go. Boom. All right, so there you have it. Atlantis, Doja Cat, Supernatural. I don't really know what they could do.
That's fine because I have a prediction for that one, so I'll jump on that one in a moment. But I like what you're saying though. I think all four are very safe in terms of what Walkabout's one out there because they just announced something, right? But you're right. We're waiting for the next Lost Cities one, and plus After the Falls just brought something out too, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I just think that generally their content is pushed every 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks or so. There's new content, so
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. That sounds good. So for my first prediction, I'm going to jump on the supernatural train then and say the fitness accessory pack that got announced at the Connect last year in November, end of October, or whatever it was, will finally be out. And for people who can't remember what that included controller grips, so it goes around your backhand, shall I say, and also faceplate as well, which is I think 100% necessary for the fitness community. I think that's finally released, and Supernatural adds equipment to its lineup. So, like a bike is going to be added to there. So they're going to be like Peloton style, or like that. There's a bike.
I would love a bike app.
Yeah. So you have an exercise bike. You put it on. I think what is it, VZ Fit or something like that. They do a bike.
VZ Fit, yeah. Hollow Fit, I think. Hollow and also Hollow Fit.
Yeah, I think now with all the funding that Supernatural's going to get now that it's been bought by Meta, that's the next logical step that I can think of.
If any listeners out there want a 30-day trial of Supernatural at the podcast, I got you. I have 4 left.
Very good.
I think I get 5 every month.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, at the podcast or at Samson's Twitter.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like
DM's open.
you would love that equipment, right? You would, because you obviously have your exercise bike.
Yeah,
and you have your.
The thing is, I sweat a boatload, and sweating. I mean, it'd be better than like running for sure with the headset on. Biking, like you're a lot more stationary, a lot easier to stay still, but still, just like sweat just pouring down. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. I would give it a whirl. I would try it out, but I don't know that it has staying power until form factor changes in VR.
Yeah, you might be right. I know there's you can buy a Quest headset for a rowing machine as well, which I think maybe is too much as well because you're moving back and forth, right?
A bit. But it's like running. You're going up and down.
Running's
right?
definitely
and
a no-no.
Like a lot more.
Yeah, running's a definitely no-no. But to be fair, when I've played Supernatural or played some of the other fitness games like Thrill of the Fight, I've sweat constantly through it, and it helps with the Supernatural cover because they have like a silicone cover that you can get. And I think that's the one that Meta is trying to push out with their faceplate. It's like a silicone faceplate, because it does help. It does help with sweat a ton, but you're still going to be dripping. You're still going to be dripping down. Maybe you just have to keep a towel with you or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's nothing around it. Some people are going to sweat more than others, and it's going to be an issue at this point in VR.
Yeah,
and it's like just like an issue. It's friction that I don't like working out. So that amount of like that sort of making it a little bit worse or more complicated, where I have to constantly stop and wipe. I'm like, I don't know.
I wonder how they can fix that. I know
form factor. The things will get lighter. Like that's just going to change with time.
But I was thinking, like, if they can think of a accessory that could fix that, or help prevent that. Like they have the faceplate to help
Zorro mask.
Or wear a balaclava or something. Then you won't sweat through it, or you won't get fog either in that case. But yeah, I would love the equipment to be in there. Bring a bike. I don't really have an exercise bike at home, but I have one of those devices that you can put your actual bike in, and then it becomes like a stationary bike. So I would love to have that in, because look at Supernatural's beautiful environments, right? It'd be, I think it would look beautiful, but yeah, that's the only logical step I can think from Supernatural. And I don't think they're going to charge more either. I think they're going to keep it the same, because they already charge quite a bit anyway. I think this is a great time to throw in someone else's prediction. Actually, I'm going to throw a funny one. So Jenna Wood, who is a patron of the show and also an active member of the Discord, she said at least 20 more rhythm and boxing games that are going to be announced at this. I think you could throw shooters into that mix too, right?
Oh yeah, a first-person shooter boxer game.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, try and make that happen. To be fair, last year's showcase, it was like that. There was a lot of shooting games
and snowboarding.
Well, one snowboarding game. That was cool. That was great. Yeah, that was Jenna Wood. Dr. Hero also in the Discord says that I think we'll get at least a release date for San Andreas. But he said this next one, which I've always wanted, and he says, I would love a retro game collection in VR, like Space Invaders, Pac-Man, or Frogger. And I've said this in the past, like I'd love a like virtual arcade that you can go in and you have these, I'm not saying bring Mortal Kombat or anything like that or Street Fighter or whatever. Just bring the basics, the Space Invaders, the Pac-Man, like he says. Even bring Pong into VR. Have it like a Star Wars pinball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Room, but you can have arcade machines.
Right.
You're a big fan of Frogger, right?
I did play some Frogger back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think Neo's has some arcade machines that are usable.
If I could develop properly, I'd love to develop that. That'd be wicked. That'd be a fun time. But thanks, Jenna, and thanks, Dr. Hero, for your prediction. Samson, I'm going to throw it back to you for prediction number 2.
Alrighty then. Metal Gear Solid VR.
What? Metal Gear Solid VR?
Yep.
Like Metal Gear Solid 1 in VR or something. Metal Gear Solid 1 is pretty much top down-ish. It's not top down, but it's kind of, I don't know if that will work, but just a Metal Gear Solid franchise game in VR, essentially.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know if it'll be a remake, but yeah.
Is that from your prediction of like potentially having older games titles like
Resident
Resident
I was trying
Evil
to think of
such?
something like Resident Evil 4 on level with that, and something that's got a pretty big fan base. And yeah, it's a classic.
People will lose their shit.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid VR.
Well, just putting that out there. Just throwing that out there, left field.
Also this, because it sort of goes with the other one. I don't think we get a release date for GTA.
Yeah, as that one. Yeah. I think, well, I will say it in my prediction in a second. But hold on. How would Metal Gear Solid work? Like, is it?
I don't know.
You got to give me something here, Sam. You got to give me something.
What would you? I don't have to tell you how the game's gonna play.
I'm trying to think of how it's gonna work.
There's a game, Republic VR. Have you seen that? That sort of looks like a
Republic
Metal Gear. Yeah,
Republic VR. No, let me just have a look. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, industry developed over 5 years by industry veterans. Metal Gear Solid, Halo, and Fear. Republic VR is a thrilling and topical stealth action game which explores the perils of government surveillance in the internet age. I've never heard of this game. This looks sick. This game looks fantastic.
It is. It did not get very good reviews.
It didn't?
Yeah. No.
Oh. I saw good reviews.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Look cool.
It looks so something like that essentially, but in fair enough. Metal Gear Solid. That's come out of left field, but I like it. Anything else on that, or should I move on to number 2?
No, that's it.
Sweet. Prediction number 2 for me, because we talked about San Andreas. I predict that we will not see San Andreas, Assassin's Creed, or Splinter Cell at this event. I hope this is not true. I really want to see all 3 of these games, and I'll be pumped.
I disagree on one, but yeah.
On San Andreas,
I think we get some Splinter Cell footage.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I remember actually. No, I think you're right. To be honest, on that, that's the only game where I've seen rumors of a new game coming out, and people are thinking it must be the VR version that they announced 2 years ago now.
Yeah, a while.
That's the only one that I've heard, just a little bit about. So you're right. I think if anything's gonna be likely, I think Splinter Cell, but I personally don't think we're gonna see any of those. And I've said this on the podcast before. I don't think San Andreas is coming out, but that's a bold.
I think it will, but I don't think we get a release date. We didn't get a release date for Resident Evil, did we?
No, but it just said coming this year, but you could kind of predict. I think we predicted that it will come out at the end where Halloween, and it pretty much did, didn't it? But I hope I'm totally wrong with this one, honestly. I really want to see San Andreas. I can see working in VR well, because they have a first person mode in GTA 5, and it is kind of fun. And I could see that. I don't know how it will work in terms of motion sickness, but I can see it kind of working. I'm very interested to see how they do with the mechanics of that game. Assassin's Creed, what would they do with that game? I still don't have a clue. Splinter Cell, there's a lot of Splinter Cell like type games on VR already, and I think they could easily do something similar to that, contracts or whatever. Sweet. I'm going to throw in PJ's prediction here from the VR verdict. He gave us 3 predictions, and he says, I want / need a sequel to Asgard's Wrath to be on there. The game came out a long time ago, so we probably are due, to be honest.
Yeah, I played the first like 2 hours of that game 2 or 3 times now. It's a big game.
You keep just starting it again.
I'm like, oh yeah, because it's been so long. I'm like, I gotta start over. And then I just like give up and then just don't go back to it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's very beautiful, very great. The sequel would also do. Yeah. I mean, be like Lone Echo.
I'm about to say, actually, this is a good question here. Do you think we'll see any PC VR titles in this event? Because obviously last year all we saw was Lone Echo 2, and that makes sense because the Rift was disappearing. Do you think we'll see any, or do you think it's just all going to be
none?
See none?
None.
Yeah, I want to say none too.
The over-under is set at 0.5 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Betting odds are, fairly high, but I don't think we'll see any Rift titles, to be honest. I think that's done. I think we'll be moving forward. So I don't know if we'll see Asgard, maybe an Asgard Wrath quest port rather than just on Rift.
No way.
No, too big.
No,
like Nomad version, like Blade and Sorcery.
Yeah, no way.
Fair enough. I haven't played that game. I remember everyone got it for free, in 2020. But okay, so his other 2 predictions are.
That's how I ended up with it. I forgot.
Yeah, that's what we all got it for free. GTA says GTA has a release. GTA San Andreas releases during the showcase is what he says.
That's bold.
That's bold as hell. We heard nothing, absolutely nothing since that. Okay, it's coming out next week. Will be mental.
I like it.
I like it too. And he says it's time for Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell release announcements. So mine completely goes against PJ's predictions, but I hope PJ's right.
Yeah. I don't think we get release announcements, but I do think we see some sort of Splinter Cell.
For sure. Throwing it back to you for prediction number 3.
Okay. And I believe we sort of broke this up like 2 more
outrageous ones.
Reasonable and 2, yes, more outrageous. So this is the beginning of my outrageous. Just want to make that clear.
And Metal Gear Solid wasn't?
No, that's Metal Gear Solid. Wait. You just wait. What do we have?
A week left. We're a week behind.
11 days, yeah.
A week when this podcast comes out.
You just wait. All right, here we go. Crazy. Ba-da-da-da. This just announced Oculus has just teamed up with Microsoft and they're releasing Halo VR.
Get out. You had me at the first. I was like, that makes sense. That would be mad, wouldn't it? That'd be mad. That'd be bigger than Metal Gear Solid. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But just to pivot on that first point, though, to be in partnership with Microsoft is not actually far away. That's not actually out there. I feel like that could potentially happen.
I mean, Microsoft's got someone in the works.
Yeah, it seems if they have their own, but I could see like they have their You know what be sick? This is not my prediction, but there's another out there, and I'm just rolling on this Microsoft prediction here. But if they partnered up with Microsoft, they have their cloud service, right? Where you can now play on your mobile phone or whatever. If they could bring the cloud service to VR, so it's not VR, it's still 2D, but you're in a screen like big screen, for example. But you get to pay up your Xbox controller to the Meta Quest, and then you can play Halo Infinite or whatever in your VR headset as your
Right.
cloud gaming. I could see that happening.
I think you can do that right now with Xbox Game Pass, I believe.
Yeah, you probably can do it through the browser. I don't know. Right.
Yeah, I think there's I did it once, like when I first got my Quest 2. I was big into sort of finding gimmicky things to do, and I played Xbox, but I forget how exactly I did it. And it wasn't that great. It was like 720p.
Yeah, I see. I've just Googled it and I see some YouTubers put a few things on there.
Yeah.
So
it's a cool thing to do, but it's not the best way to be playing your Xbox games.
But right official now. Support, that would be mental.
Official support might help it for sure.
That'd be mental if you could play, even if it's not in VR, but you can play Halo Infinite.
There are so many cloud. I saw that Amazon has a cloud gaming service now.
Amazon do. Oh,
Amazon, yeah. You have free games if you have Amazon Prime like video. You can like go play some games.
Since when? Amazon Prime Gaming.
It's called like Loot. It begins with an L, I think.
Loot. Yeah, Loot. No, like Lost Ark. No, that's a game. Prime Gaming. You can play Madden 22 free with Prime.
There you go.
Lost Ark's just a game on there. League of Legends is on there.
There are a bunch of non-free ones, so I don't know like what the free ones and what the non-free ones are. Some you have to like pay more for the gaming subscription if you will. Anyway, moving right along. What's your first crazy prediction?
Sorry, I'm just looking at Prime Gaming now. I'm like, what the hell? Since when is this a thing? Yeah, anyway. Okay, crazy prediction. My crazy prediction. It's not like your crazy prediction. It's just something that I don't know, we'll just say it. I think Lone Echo 1 comes to Quest 2.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I think Lone Echo 1. I feel like they've been working on this for so long, and because Lone Echo 2 took so long to come out, they've had to put this in the hold. And I think they really wanted it to come out when Lone Echo 2 came out so people could play the first one. I think they can get the first one on Quest. The second one, probably not. I think they can jump through some hoops and get the first one on Quest.
Do you think the second one pushes the computer like that much more? Like it's that much?
I don't know because I haven't played it, right? I've only seen what other people have said and reviewed it. And, it's just maybe if they can get one on, they can get two on because they can make the same downgrades.
There's so many. It's a really physics-based game, and that's where it struggles.
Yeah, it is. It's not. The looks are beautiful, but you can always just tone that down, right? But Red Manor does a really good job in terms of what they do with the physics. But I would love to see that game on Quest 2. I think it'd be fantastic. The issue with Lone Echo right now is that it's locked to that PC platform, and it's locked onto Oculus as well. It's not even on Steam or anything. They need to. That game deserves to be out there.
I mean, Stormland. I hopped into Stormland. I was like, "Holy smokes, this game's great."
Yeah. What you saying?
No
one talks about it. Yeah. No one knows about it. There's a bunch of games like that which are just locked on the platform, and it'll be great if they could find a way to try and get some type of version down. Maybe they have to do like a Nomad version, like Blade and Sorcery, but something, it'll be sick. I'd love to, because I've never finished that game. Because I got rid of my PC before I finished it, and I'd love to finish that game because that game was so good, and I could play it seeded, and it's probably the best seeded game I've ever played.
I was gonna say, I think they could get that Edge of Nowhere game on the Quest 2.
Edge of Nowhere.
I
don't remember what that is. Edge of Nowhere VR. Oh yeah. Yeah, you think they can get that in?
Yeah, I think they could dumb it down.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how it's going to work. I feel like you need to get a developer on this. Hopefully we get, this is not.
No. I like not knowing anything and just shooting
I know.
From the gut.
I want to see a developer on this podcast soon, just so I can talk to him about that process in terms of talk to them about how much processing it takes. But
in due time.
in due time for sure. We've got a few things lined up. But Lone Echo 1, I hope it comes. I'll be sick. It'll be dope. I'll be a day one for me as well. And if it does come out, I'm gonna throw it out there. It comes out in summertime too. I think that's gonna be their big summer game if it does. Let's go, because we're talking about crazy predictions a little bit. Let's go to Matthew Sams on Twitter. He threw out a crazy prediction, but I'll tell you, he threw out a few things. So he said dates and teasers, GTA. He said GTA 5, but I'm sure he means San Andreas. Walking Dead 2, Ultimex, Thrill of the Fight 2, and a Horizon update. Okay. And then he says reveals Meta Cambria headset and Meta haptic gloves, which I think is I like his boldness, but I don't think we're going to get any hardware apart from maybe the fitness pack that I mentioned earlier. Also, I'm not sure. I mean, these are great predictions. Thrill of the Fight 2, I'd love to see.
That'd be dope. Yeah, I haven't actually seen anything on that in a while.
No, I think Sea Lost Entertainment, I think they're the people who do Thrill of the Fight. I think they mentioned earlier this year that it's going to be delayed to 2023.
Really?
What they said. Yeah, I remember them saying that on the Twitter announcement that COVID's really affected them and such. So, I'd love to see Thrill of the Fight 2. That'd be great, because Thrill of the Fight 2 is meant to bring multiplayer to that boxing experience. It's still the best boxing experience on Quest.
My current rough estimate is late 2022, and this was 3 months ago.
Yeah. So a great prediction, but I'm not sure if it will happen. But it'll be great to see Thrill of the Fight 2. Also, I think that people really want Thrill of the Fight 2, and they're dying for it. They have that multiplayer. I can't wait to punch Samson in the face and do all sorts. It'd be great
in a legal way. Yeah,
in a legal way, exactly, in a legal way. Sweet, Samson, your final prediction.
All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
There's a drum roll playing right now. I know. Dan's edited it in.
Right, sure.
And we get a Cambria game and a release date for Cambria.
Okay. Okay. A Cambria game and a release date for Cambria. Yeah. Wow. We'll talk about Cambria a little bit more in the VR news, but okay, give me something more than the Cambria game.
I don't know what a Cambria game
could be, because
I don't really know what it will do. Some sort of AR game, some sort of more AR using the color, right. I don't. Yeah, probably something simple. It's probably something social.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I'd love to see that. I don't know if it will happen. But who am I to say? This is a prediction.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is a wild prediction, and the fact that sadly Bradley's we see it now. We know what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so close.
Exactly. You know what? I say it might not happen, but at the same time, they could throw a little tease right at the end, couldn't they? They could just throw that little bit at the end. Maybe I can't remember what the woman's name who does the showcase. I forgot her name. But maybe she goes, and then Zuckerberg comes out of the weird portal. Some graphics comes out, and he's holding.
He comes out of a tube of barbecue sauce. Squirt Zuckerberg.
He's out, and he's holding the Cambria, and he goes, "Boom, Q4 2022."
And barbecue sauce dripping off of it.
And the first game is going to be Frogger. You can play with your eyes with eye tracking. Every time you blink, the Frogger jumps.
Oh man, I didn't even think of eye tracking games.
Yeah.
Space Invaders. Eye tracking.
Oh, what?
Pew pew, just shooting with your eyes.
You see how fatigued your eyes will be?
Next gen's gonna have strong eyes.
Yeah, strong eyes for sure. It's interesting, right? Because the PlayStation VR is going to come out soon, whether it's going to be the end of this year or start of 2023, right? So this is Meta's big like reveal before the PlayStation's reveal. So yeah, to throw something like a Cambria in there just at the end, we'll get people talking. I really like Matthew's prediction of the meta haptic gloves. I think that would be sick, but I think that's like a couple of years more out. But that's definitely a prediction for the future. But yeah, meta Cambria, and then a potential game, whatever that game will be.
Yeah. Pong
with your eyes in AR.
Pong.
But yeah, or the Cambria can be used outside. That'd be a great feature. And then you could probably take one of those Laser Quest games. I forget what they're called now, Space Pirate Arena or whatever the one was for full, and then people could go outside and play it with their Cambria.
Yes.
That would be great. Anyway, my last prediction is it's not an out there one. It's more of a safe one. I'm not gonna lie. When I was making the predictions, when I was making the predictions, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about what I told you. So I just made 4 predictions. I feel like we will not see San Andreas' Assassin's Creed Spindle Souls. A little out there. Anyway, I think we'll see Walking Dead Chapter 2, and it's going to be their #1 game coming out this fall. We've heard nothing since it got teased back in February or January now. All we saw was a chainsaw and such, and with blood on it. I think that's going to be their like Resident Evil 4 of the event last year, but it's going to be Walking Dead. I think we're going to get a kind of release date where it's just going to say it's going to be coming this year, but we all know it's going to be coming in October, November time. And I think that we're going to see a lot of gameplay from it as well. And they're going to show us quite a bit, like they did with Resident Evil 4, show us quite a bit. And we're going to be pumped. And I'm going to be like, okay, I need to download the first game again and finally finish it.
I forgot about this game.
Yeah. There you go. It's an out there prediction for you because it wasn't in there. It was out there because it wasn't in your brain.
This isn't out there. This is coming in October, right? This has got to come.
It's got to come for October, November time for sure. I'll be surprised if it doesn't, but I think we'll see it, and I'm really excited to see it, and I'll be really disappointed if we don't see it.
They're gonna dip back into the zombie bucket.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the games sell, but we already know it's announced.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh,
NFL, one of the Status Pro NFL game. Maybe we get something from them.
Maybe we do.
I don't this game couldn't be more what's it called when something doesn't exist but it's like a product, like the Deca
I don't know,
people call it something where airware.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bother me. All right,
but that's the same as Splinter Cell Assassin's Creed, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Same kind of thing. We know nothing about this game. Obviously got announced a few weeks ago. Obviously we talked about it on the show, but
vaporware.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that term, vaporware. Yeah, because it's just thin dust. It's just out of there. Yeah.
I was close with airware.
Yeah, you were.
Coming up with that.
You look very proud of that, being very close to. Yeah. That's a good shout. Obviously we'll see Among Us at the conference. I think they'll probably lead with that or have it quite early. I think we spoke about it last week, right? I expect Among Us to be out very soon. You said like
Among Us is going to come out that day.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be out.
That should have been in my game updates prediction for sure.
Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
I don't know if it'll be out on the day, but I'm sure it'll be out like within the next week. I agree. I think it comes out very, very soon. I'll be surprised if anything like that, and we'll see what surprises we get. I mean, last year we got the carved snowboarding surprise. We kind of got the Resident Evil surprise, although that was leaked by a Capcom leak like a year before, but it was still a nice surprise to see it, and they showed a lot more than we thought it was going to do. We also might see some stuff from Pistol Whip, that just announced they're going to be working on a AAA game, and they have some DLC coming, or updates coming as well, so we might see a bit of that. But yeah, that is the MetaQuest. I'm very excited. I think what we're going to do is for the podcast coming out, we're going to film a normal podcast for next week. And I'll put that out on Tuesday, so the day before the Meta Quest. So everyone get a day earlier. That won't talk about the Meta Quest really, a showcase. That would just be on whatever topic that we're gonna have. Hopefully, have a guest on that show, and then we'll do our live reactions to it. But obviously, we won't watch it live because we have work.
Yes, we do.
That's gonna be hard to stay away. I have to just, I might have to delete Twitter and Discord or mute everything just for.
I don't know that I'll be able to.
Samson, don't let me down now. Don't let me down.
Already my heart hurts. I don't know if I could do it.
And you pause Discord.
Let's just pivot.
And yeah, okay. That's something you need to figure out after, sit down, talk, think about it. Anyway, on to the VR news. We got some Project Cambria updates. Sadly, it's Bradley on YouTube has claimed to have seen the headset and has collaborated with a product designer to produce the detailed renders. And if you're on the video version, you can see the renders on your screen right now. This headset looks beautiful. It looks really beautiful. It looks small, thin, sleek. Looks like a really comfortable Halo strap as well on it. Yeah. What's your initial thoughts on what it looks like?
Form factor looks fantastic.
It looks light as hell, right? As well. Yeah, it looks light as hell. It's interesting how he's claimed he's seen it, which I believe him because he is a guy who likes to get things. There's a Shawshank Redemption reference there. He's a guy who likes to get things, and he gets deep into things, and he can find the source code. And he's been talking about this for ages. He's been talking about the Steam ones for ages, the Decade for ages too. So
this was somebody who either works manufacturing line somewhere along the line in the product line. That is, he knows them, had this image, and then shared it with him. Obviously, the image had a lot of watermark type on it that would trace it back to his source, so he couldn't post the actual image. So they just in depth looked at it and then recreated it in Gravity Sketch together. So it is as close, I imagine, as you're going to get to
what
an actual leak
for sure.
But that's why it's all to protect his source, so you didn't out him.
To be fair, as well, though, in the Facebook or Meta Connect in October, they showed it on an avatar and it looking in the mirror trying to pick out its clothes or whatever.
It looks similar.
And it looks similar to that, to be honest. So as well, it's interesting what they're going to do with this headset, to be honest. I'm not sure if we're going to hear much from it next week, but I'm interested to see what they do. I hope they allow it to do some gaming and such with it as well, because probably going to be powerful enough.
It will be completely backwards compatible.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be aimed for enterprise, but you can also do the stuff in Quest. And look how light it looks, like how thin light it looks. The lenses are really, I can't remember what those lenses are called, but beautiful. It looks fantastic. It looks super futuristic, and way smaller. I mean,
just having color pass-through is going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
I really don't know that I get it, but it does look cool. I'd love to try it.
I don't know if I'd get it either. It just depends on what it does. If it is just for enterprise, essentially, then no. But if it is okay, this is enterprise, but then it's pretty much a big Quest 2 jump as well. That's also
as long as the hard drive is a lot bigger than 64, you should get it.
For sure. I mean, for sure. And it's also is probably going to be quite expensive. It's also going to probably go towards $1,000, $800 to $1,000. $800
to $1,000,
yeah, for sure. But yeah, looks like a beauty. Moving on to the next story. Unplugged. We have our first DLC. You look at a bit of air guitaring, right? Or you did do in the past. Okay. I don't know
Was
what
me
that
air
was,
guitaring.
but it's out in April 14th. It's $5.99. It includes 4 tracks. We have, if anyone knows this, we have track from Gossip, Standing in the Way of Control, Muse, Won't Stand Down, Rob Zombie, Crow, Killer Blues, and Slayer, South of Heaven. I don't know. I know who Muse and Rob Zombie are, and Slayer are actually. I don't know who Gossip are, but I feel like these are going to be good air guitar tracks.
Yeah, I don't know the tracks themselves, but judging by the bands, I assume so.
Yeah.
Probably be better than my air guitaring.
Have you played much Unplugged since you got it, or just when you first got it?
No, mostly since when I first got it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
did
heard
see
nothing.
this and I was like, I should hop in it again. I really those haptic gloves with the fingers,
Yeah.
like so those seem I talked to somebody who tried them out and he was unimpressed with them,
Hmm.
but said that they were pretty good for unplugged. It's like their one use case basically.
Right.
Um Not really worth $300 for one game, but yeah,
No.
it's I should hop back in it. It is fun. It's just it's tough with the hand tracking, quite honestly. Like it works well, but it's still not 100%. So
Yeah.
sometimes you're just like frustrated when it starts getting
And you
more
need to be in
complicated.
the right conditions, right? You can't just put this on anywhere. You actually,
I mean, it needs to be like right, but I have no problems with this. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, the other day I was having trouble with my tracking and I could not figure it out. I was playing in my room. I've never really had issues. I had the light on and I have an infrared light, so when I play movies, I can watch in the dark.
Hmm.
And I realized that the infrared light was casting too. It was like too. It was like playing in the sun. It was too
Mm.
bright, and it
Mm.
was so I had to unplug the infrared light and just use the normal like room light,
Yeah.
and then it was fine.
Huh.
So I can only
Interesting.
use the infrared light when I'm trying to watch movies
Yeah.
in the dark.
Yeah. I had an issue once similar. I think we were playing Walkabout and my tracking was all over the place. And I don't know if you or someone else said that it says, are you next to any windows? And my whole room in like I obviously can't see it on this video, but in front of me it's just window. And yeah, the sun was just coming through and I was like, oh my gosh, that's why it wasn't that's why I'm missing these putts. You know?
Yeah.
Blame it on the sunlight.
That's why I'm shooting a 30 over.
Exactly. I really want to try Unplugged, but it's like I feel like I'll be like you, where I'd play it and then just forget about it. You know, it won't be something
I
that
mean,
I'd
that's
come back
most
to.
VR games.
That's true. It's
It's
true.
like, is it worth if I play for, I don't know, 5 to 8 hours any game? That most games are, I feel like, priced generally reasonably, I think, for that, right? Like
Hmm.
if I go to see a movie, I've spent what about 2 to 3 hours and I've spent about
Hmm.
$15 to $20. Like to me, that's just like worth it. I
For
don't know.
sure.
Other people maybe don't think of it like that, but I don't know if I've spent like I spent a few evenings playing Unplugged.
Yeah.
I don't think I've quite yet necessarily got my money's worth out of Unplugged. I should hop back in it, but there
Hmm.
are games that I haven't necessarily played, through
Hmm.
that I do feel like I was like, all right, I've got what I paid out of that
For sure.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the pricing for VR is normally okay. There are a few games that are definitely not worth this price tag, but average price is what, $20, right? And yeah, like you just said, that's like going to a movie theater in the full IMAX as such, right? And
Yeah.
if you get 2 or 3 hours worth of that experience, it's worth it. I think a lot of people moan and complain because just gaming in general, normally people want, oh, I want so much more
Yeah, I
content,
get it. Yeah.
for my money's worth. But stuff like Walking Dead, which hopefully we see next week, that's the most expensive Quest game, I believe. Is up there with a couple
Medal
others
of
as
Honor
well. Yeah, which are all both $40,
and
right?
Arizona Sunshine.
Yeah, for some reason, Arizona is still not that
After the
price.
Fall, I think is also up there.
It is, yeah, but
There's a bunch more now that are $40 than there, but there aren't that many, and they all I think are pretty worth their price. I mean, generally I try to find them on sale, but yeah.
I think Medal of Honor and Walking Dead definitely are. I think After the Fall is not worth $40 yet. I think it's worth $30 because there's not much replayability once you've done, but I think eventually it will be when more content comes in. Now. Exactly. Yeah. So I think eventually it will be $40 for sure. Arizona, I don't know why. That's still $40. They should discount that now. But
and then there are games that I feel like I've really gotten my money's worth. Like at this point, every minute I've probably paid like 1 cent per hour I've spent in Walkabout.
Yeah,
I've just
for
played
sure,
that game so many hours.
Yeah.
This leads us into the next piece of the news.
Sure. Yeah, we got Walkabout Myst. We got the Myst collaboration. This announced at the same time they're on I think Lucas Martel is his name. I forgot his name. I didn't write his name down. Was on the Upload VR podcast, and they talked about licenses, and obviously got the Labyrinth license coming out in the summer, which is not far away. So probably the next couple months or so, Labyrinth will come out, and they talked about their collaboration with Myst. For those of you unfamiliar with Myst, Myst was a game that came out in the 90s, I believe, on the PC, and it's a puzzle game. If anyone's played The Witness on flat screen consoles and the iPad right now, very similar type of game, like inspired by that. I love The Witness, by the way.
I saw you hop into it, a few weeks ago.
Witness is fantastic. I played that game to death during lockdown. It's phenomenal.
I never beat it. I couldn't
figure it out.
I'm too stupid.
Still stupid. You're too stupid. I love that game so much, and even my housemate loves it so much that he wrote an essay on it. When he was doing like an education masters, and he wrote an essay on the game as well, and it's beautiful. But anyway, on to Myst. Similar kind of things. People have that nostalgia for Myst. Myst obviously came out in VR a year or two ago. No, last year actually. I think this was announced during the gaming showcase last year. I want to say Myst. Or maybe it wasn't. It was announced during either that or when the Oculus Quest 2 was announced. And Myst is a very difficult game in VR. I'm not going to lie. Myst requires you to like write things down because there's certain puzzles that will come up later on, and you're like, oh, I need to remember what that code looked like, but I can't remember. You need to write it down. So it's very difficult in VR. But they're collaborating with Walkabout to bring the Myst Island in Walkabout. And Samson, you kind of called it. You wanted the game collabs, and I don't know if Myst was on your list, but you did want the game collabs, and it happened.
Yes. It was not on my list, Myst, but I did want a game DLC, and here we are.
Yeah.
So floodgates open.
For sure. I even tweeted them. I said, okay, bring on Demio next. And they liked
Demio. Yeah, gosh, anything. I was even thinking like Cubism. It'd just be a bunch of Tetris pieces around. I don't know what it would be.
They could get crazy with that. They could
do anything.
They could do anything. And that would be so out there, right? As a completely different course if it was something like Cubism in there. They also said on the podcast that they're hoping to add. So this got a little bit of confusion. I think when they announced the Lost Cities DLC and they said there was going to be other DLC coming out, everyone thought it would be month to month. But it's actually not. That's something that they're hoping to do in the future. They're actually thinking with the current timeline from this summer, they'll be able to go new course every month. Okay. They're currently working on like 7 courses this year already. And there's courses that they're working on that's going to come out in 2023 as well. So it's not month to month yet is what I always thought, but it's not. Hopefully they're from summer. Maybe Labyrinth is going to kick off the first in the month to month.
I still feel like we get one before Labyrinth.
I think you're right too. Just to bridge the gap for sure. They also said, which is great, that prices will stay at $2.99 for all DLC, because there were questions like if that was going to be increased for the licensed ones. But no, everything will remain $2.99. They said a couple bucks or so for Walkabout mini golf is great, because then they can keep making these courses. And they said essentially they just want it to be accessible for everybody first, and then maybe
so many people own this game. They have the numbers, so they can go cheap with many people. to get
and still make a good profit
exactly.
margin for sure. But at the same time, if they did increase the price by $1, I'm sure people would go for that too, you know.
Yeah, but there's a graph and fewer people would buy it.
For sure.
I bet. I'd say it's some number. I don't know that it's $1 more than what it is, but
yeah,
that is for sure a curve, and I
in terms
think
of
they're in a good spot on it right now.
right. You're using your marketing brain right there, I think.
Yes.
Your
My
business degree.
Yes.
Yeah. They did mention, like I said, they're working on some courses coming in 2023, and also they're working on like a plan to potentially bundle these courses up too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they offer like when all the Lost Cities are out, if you don't have them, all the Lost Cities will be available for an X amount of price, which is a little bit cheaper than buying them all singly. Um, yeah, what else with Walkabout? Actually, I'm trying to think. I lost my train of thought, but it's
Oh no,
amazing,
we
right?
can move on to the other golf news.
We can. But before we do that, actually, are you going to jump into Myst to have a look at what the island is? Trying to get some sneak peeks of what it's going to
I've
be.
hopped into Myst. I bought Myst solely for the oh god, it came with an Oculus Home. It was the only
Yes,
game
it
that
did.
came with an Oculus
Yeah, it
Home,
did.
and I was like, I got to see this, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
only way to get this. Okay,
They should do
and I
that
did
way more
hop.
often.
I
Way
hopped
more
into
often.
yeah. They should come with it. Should be a special option with many
Like a
games.
pre-order or something. Yeah.
Clearly, I spent $30 on Myst in part to get it. So yeah, boom, you got
Yeah.
me at least.
Exactly.
But I did hop into Myst and I explored around. I am terrible at these types of games, especially in VR. But the island looks beautiful, and I mean, Walkabout, it's already sold. So
Yeah, it's already sold. I'm excited to see what Puddle comes out with, but that's not going to come out till fall 2022. So I'm pretty sure there'll be obviously Labyrinth before that, and there'll probably be another Lost Cities and a couple other normal courses. But
yeah,
that's if you want mini golf, if you want some crazy golf action. But if you want a real golf, we got the Masters, which is currently on as we're recording. It would have been done by now. Tiger Woods, love to see him back on the course, but we have Golf Plus. If you want to be like Tiger Woods, Golf Plus for Quest 2 has teased a new Alpine course. So at the moment, there's 3 courses. There's Cliffs, which is just a fake course, shall I say, or just they made course. Then they have Valhalla and Wolf Creek, which are both PGA courses in the States. Valhalla is free. Wolf Creek is $7.99, I believe, for the course. Now then, Ryan Engel, who is the lead designer, is just basically the top man when it comes to Golf Plus. He announced via Twitter that there'll be a new course and there'll also be a new clubhouse called Alpine, and it's coming soon to Golf Plus. There's no like release date, but they did offer a screenshot. There's lots of trees, lots of greenery, you know. Samson, you played this game or not? I don't think I can't remember.
Golf Plus. I played Golf Plus. I used to play it a lot more,
Yeah.
especially before Walkabout had so many courses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now when my brother prefers Walkabout, I think so. When we play, it's generally Walkabout.
Mm-hmm.
I have like you have the golf
Attachment.
handle.
Yeah.
But the thing is like setting that there's just friction there. Boom. Like I got to take off my controller grip. I got to put that on.
Yeah,
And that's
true.
enough to be like, all right, do I really want to? And I generally want to play this with a friend. And my friends generally just want to like, all right, let's just play Walkabout.
It is more accessible for sure.
But I need a friend who likes real golf more. So that, yeah.
I'm right in front of you.
Yeah, but we also just play Walkabout.
That's true. That's true. I've been playing a lot of Golf Plus within the last 2-3 weeks now. I was meant to come out with a video with the handle, but I have not yet. For many different reasons, but hopefully coming out soon. But I've been playing it a lot with the handle, and I love it. And it's really hard. It's hard as well. Like my drives go slice to the right like it would in real life, and it is great. It's such a good game. It's one as well where you play 18 holes and you're pretty much tired. You don't really want to play anymore. I've tried to play more and I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I'm like tired, with all the motion and such. So it is nice like that. It's a really good game, and it's made by people who play golf. I mean, Ryan Engel, he's like not, I don't know if he's semi-pro, but he's definitely like a scratch golfer. So he knows how to play too, and he knows what he's looking for. So this game is no longer really pro putt. Like you have pro putt in there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you have the top bolt golf in there, which is nice to kind of work on your swingers and driving range. But it's mostly just
It's a real golf sim, yeah.
it's now a real golf sim, which I think is a good idea because Pro Putt was fun, but Walkabout was just better in terms of
That's what he wants, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think he's always wanted the full course. And just reminder, Golf Plus is only for Quest 2. It's not for at least the full swing aspect of it. So it's not for Quest 1. But Alpine coming soon, which I'm not sure if it's going to be free or not either. Probably is going to be free because just a homemade course. It's probably the PGA ones are gonna. They need more content. There's only 3 courses in there, right?
Yeah,
And they've had
much
3 courses for a long time, so they need a few more in there for sure. But that is Golf Plus, and that is the news for the week. Samson, we didn't talk about what we played this week. Did you have anything that you wanted to mention?
Well, hopped into Walkabout, got that
Putter, yeah.
putter. I hopped into the PC VR game Against very briefly,
Mm-hmm.
and I hopped into Samurai Slaughterhouse briefly.
Sick. I love that name, by the way, Samurai Slaughterhouse. It's a great
Yeah.
name. It's a fantastic name. I didn't do any VR per se, but I did watch. I finished watching The Soloist. And that for some reason, I don't know why. I think I was playing golf or whatever, but I had an urge to watch The Soloist. I don't know why that came up to me, but I was like,
It's an odd
as soon
one.
as I got home, I got so excited to go and put it on, and I watched it. And just like the first part, my mouth was open for the whole 30 minutes. And like, what the is happening? Just amazing. And I love how I forgot how to pronounce his last name, but it's Alex like Hammond or something like that. But he's so humble as a person as well. And he's just like, yeah, it's just what I do. It's not, he's not like flashy or anything. He's just a guy who loves to climb and free solos. And yeah, it's fantastic. If you've not seen The Soloist, it's free on Oculus TV. That should have been in my essential free
Hmm.
list because it is so good. It's probably one of the best VR documentaries I've seen. And I don't really know anything about climbing. And to be honest, I've climbed a couple of times. It's not really for me. But I really appreciate how good these people are, and it's just very impressive. It's very impressive. So yeah, if you haven't finished The Soloist or haven't started watching The Soloist, definitely watch it. The first part especially is you're gonna have your jaw dropped for the whole 30 minutes. And you would love it. Perfect. Okay, before we end up the show, we do have a game that's out this week. Samson, do you wanna go for this one?
Sure. Hold on one second.
Oh, a little water break, trying to get that beautiful painting voice out.
Painting VR out on April 14th. This experience is very hands-on, easy to understand, and aimed at all ages. Play around and feel the relaxing satisfaction of putting unlimited amounts of fresh paint on a canvas. Teach yourself the basics of colors, the painting process, and composition. Sharpen your skills by experimenting with the tools and techniques at hand and become part of a new wave of digital artists. You can make NFTs, all without having to bother about cleaning up afterwards.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cleaning brushes is the worst.
cleaning brushes. You got to set up the paint, and do all that stuff. Um, Quick thing. I got an email from the developer. I haven't have yet to reply. This they sent me 2 days ago, and they said they would love to come on the podcast. So might have them on soon just to speak about painting VR because I know nothing about painting. And Samson, I don't know if you know anything about painting.
Very little, very little.
Yeah, so it'd be great for him to come on and just give us some perspective on something that I have no idea. So I'll email him later on this week and see if we can sort that out for a date soon or in May. Um, I'm surprised you didn't say that in a Bob Ross voice. A nice, calm, gentle, voice. But maybe you got to work on that Bob Ross.
I can only be me, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No driver's ed this week. Everyone's been driving safe. ish. Not reckless
They're not
enough.
worth talking about, that's for sure.
Not reckless enough for the show. Not reckless. I want to say a quick shout out. I didn't when Driver's Ed was out, but I did put it in the show notes. Shout out to Eric, Empire Monkey on the Discord and Patreon of the show, who made the Driver's Ed theme song. And hopefully we get a few more Driver's Ed soon so we can play it even more. In fact, I'm going to end the show and I'm going to play the full Driver's Ed theme tune as we end the show, all the way to end, just as a shout out to Eric. So thank you very much for making that in your spare time. And he is also in the US now, so we should be able to play Walkabout with him soon in Discord. Perfect.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. Thanks everyone for listening and for watching. We'll see you next week for a regular episode just before the Quest Showcase. Obviously, get your predictions in. If you want, you can ping us, be on the Discord, put your predictions in. Predictions are always fun, even if they're outrageous and out there. And hopefully we do better this week, this time than last year. You know.
And nobody remembers when you're wrong. They only remember when you're right.
Exactly. And on that note, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.